Shalom to the nation of Israel. This is Barazal coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the whole folk like pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This is going to be a quick lesson, but it's just going to be going into humility or being humble. You always have to keep yourself in a state of humility. Even when the Lord is giving you honor, you still have to remember humility, right? And sometimes he will humble you because you forgot humility. And sometimes he'll humble you just because it's part of the process of being put back up again, right? So when you get brought down, just remember you're just being humbled. Now you'll know if it's because you directly did something, right, where you need to be brought down, or it's just something that's just happening. Where it's like, okay, well, I'm going through the fire again, right? So there is a slight difference, but the point is that humility is important, right? It's very important. So we're going to start at Proverbs. Proverbs 15:33. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. So before honor is humility. So the word honor, I already have it here. Honor, 12th century, honor, glory, renown, fame earned. So before you get that fame, right? Because it does talk in the scriptures that the I guess the prophets or the apostles, roughly paraphrasing, but I know they're going to be, everyone's going to know them, which is, that's fame. That's renown. People know you, right? But before that happens, you have to know humility. Like I just read here, it says, the fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, right? And before honor is humility. So you stay in a state of humility. Be humble at all times. Even when you're being brought up high, you still have to stay humble, so which is the balance, which is not easy. Because you're in the flesh, people are feeding your ego, telling you X, Y, and Z. But you have to remember the Lord is the one that got you here. The Lord is the one that gave you all these things. Yahweh Shem Shai gave you all these things that you have. So you have to remember that even though when he's bringing you up. Right? You got to stay balanced because you still have to be confident too. Right? So going to the next one. 18 and 12. Proverbs 18 and 12. Before destruction, the mind of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Right? And haughty, go in the word haughty. Gaba, to be high, be exalted, to be high, lofty, tall, to be exalted. Basically, being, what's the word that they say now? Be full of yourself. Right? Pumping your tires. When someone pump your tires, basically being full of yourself. That's the best way to explain it. Right? So before destruction, the mind of man is high or haughty, right? And before honor is humility. Right? And being full of yourself is also being prideful. Right? Because the scriptures also say pride leads before destruction, roughly paraphrasing. Right? So that's why it's always good to stay in a state of humility. And if the Lord is dealing with you, he will humble you if you're getting prideful. But when he has to do it, when he has to do it for that reason, there is going to be some repercussions that you're going to have to deal with because he had to go out of his way to humble you because you're being too prideful. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter, right? Because we're not perfect. So we have to be able to acknowledge why this happened, learn from it, and try not to do it again, right? To the best of our ability. But what we're talking about is humility. So, humility is a very powerful thing to master if you can master that. But it's not easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. Acts 20 and 19. Serving the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai with all humility of mind and with many tears and temptations which befell me by the line and weight of the Jews. And I just wanted to read this just because of what he was saying. Serving the Lord with all humility of mind. All humility of mind. That's complete. That's discipline. to have like all humility of your mind in serving the Lord, that's not easy. That is not easy. And we're all trying to master that. Some are better than others at it, right? Which comes through experience. But the point is that we're all trying to master that complete humility of mind, right? And the Lord's going to put you through things that, He's going to break you down, put you through things and build you back up, right? Which is okay. It's a part of the refining process. So once you get used to it and you accept it, then when it happens, you don't get as upset or you don't get as bothered. It's like, okay, I know what's going on, right? Because it's a test at the end of the day, right? To see what you're going to do. So you went to 1 Peter 5 and 5. I'm going to read to 6. 1 Peter 5 and 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourself unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. So he resists the proud. So you're prideful, and you're expecting Yahweh Shem Yoshai to deal with you and help you out in situations. He's not going to. Right? He's going to have to humble you first and show you why, he didn't do X, Y, and Z for you, whatever it is. And then you have to stay in a state of humility. Then, depending how you do, then he'll help you out. Right? Right, so I'll read it again. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, for Yahweh resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. So humble yourself, right? So whether it's like the Lord's doing it directly to you, or he might do it through another man, right? An elder, right? Whoever, you have to be able to see what's going on, to see that the Lord is humbling you, or really just humbling you, right? And how you take it will dictate what happens to you next, right? If you get prideful based on when he's trying to humble you, then things are not going to end well. If you stay humble and you stay humble, then things are going to end well for you, right? They're going to end a lot better, because like I said, that he may exalt you in due time. So then, when time is right, he's going to exalt you. So we're going to go to Matthew 23 and 12. Matthew 23 and 12. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. Very simple, very straight to the point. It's all about balance. If you try to exalt yourself, the Lord's going to bring you back down, because the Lord is the one that exalts you. That's the point. He has to do it, not yourself, right? But it says, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. So if you humble yourself, the Lord will bring you up. So it basically always comes back to like subjecting yourself unto Yahweh Shem Yoshai, right? He is your master. He is your power, right? He dictates what happens to you, not you. You don't dictate what happens to you. Because remember, you're a prisoner. You're a prisoner of Yahushai. Prisoners don't really have a say. They follow the rules of the warden and of the prison. They don't have a say. They might ask if they can, maybe get released or get some time off, or get some type of benefits, things like that. But they have to ask. So they don't have the power to get any of it. And depending on how the relationship is with the warden and their time being sent, their time being served in the prison, they might get it or they might not. That comes from being humility, following the rules, doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Matthew 18 and 1. I'm going to read up to 4. Matthew 18 and 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be...
Manager to the suffragette, please. Manager to the suffragette, thank you.
Yeah, Slakia. I'm at work trying to get a video in. Okay, I'll read verse 3 again. Matthew 18 and 3.
Manager to the front for guest, please. Manager to the front for guest. Thank you.
All right, that's Satan. I'm trying to finish this. Matthew 18:3, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. So a child is in a state of humility, because it understands that it doesn't know what the elder knows, right? It's what's the word I'm looking for? You can use the word ignorant, right? It doesn't know. It doesn't know, and is always trying to learn from everyone, right? Obviously want to be around the right people, but a child, the point is that the child is in a state of humility. Children are in a state of humility, right? So that's how we're supposed to be. So you have to stay like a child in His truth, constantly growing, constantly learning. And when it comes to humility, obviously you want to grow as a man in the truth, but like it says right here, and it said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children. It doesn't say you have to become as little children. Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So that's the point. You got to humble yourself like a little child, right? So you can't enter the kingdom of heaven unless you humble yourself like a little child. Which is not easy for some men because of pride. Because maybe they know so many things, or they experience so many things in the world, and and humbling yourself, they might have to humble themselves to someone who's younger than them, who knows less, but what they're telling them on this certain situation is correct. So depending how they dictate the situation or deal with the situation, they might be exalted because now they've grown smarter, or they might be brought down because they got prideful. Because, and the thing is, that happens when someone's bringing you information, depending if they're younger or older, it doesn't matter. If you humble yourself and listen to what that person is saying, even if they're in a lower status than you, right? That's a state. Well, if you humble yourself in that situation, what I'm saying is that's how you be exalted, right? That's how the Lord can deal with you, because the Lord said that He resisted the proud and give grace unto the humble. So if you're being prideful, you will not get more knowledge. You will not get more wisdom. You will not get more understanding. And the Lord uses everyone, whether they're older or younger, right? So that's why it's always good to stay humble at all times, so the Lord can deal with you more and you can grow faster. Okay? Anyways, that's the point. The point has been made. Hopefully this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect that pushes His word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Inshallah, until next time.